Hey, beautiful. How are you today? So, this is a message for those of us who live with anxiety. And this is totally impromptu. I'm just going to go into it because I had a realization and kind of a solution or a tip to deal with anxiety. It's not a solution, let's be real. So, what I realized was that just earlier I was meditating and having a discussion. And it occurred to me that because right now I've been living with a lot of anxiety, and I have tightness in my chest, I have crazy pressure in my head, tinnitus that make me burst into tears, the ringing in the ear. It's not ringing, it's like being next to a jet engine. But anyway, and I was impromptu. My thoughts are not organized, so bear with me. What I realized was that the idea, I was listening to somebody talk, and when they mentioned something about God making you feel safe or bringing in safety, I realized that the anxiety that I feel in my body, is from a lack of feeling safe in life, feeling safe in the world, and for me, feeling safe in my body. Feeling safe in my body because my story is I started being sick at 11 years old. I was diagnosed finally a couple of years later with ulcerative colitis, and I got very sick in my late teens, and I almost died a couple times, and then I had reconstructive surgery, and then almost died a couple more times. And it's something I think with people who have chronic illness, we're in a constant state of, is this next flare up, is this thing that I'm feeling, is this new symptom, whatever it is it what's going to take me out, what's going to take me down? So we live in a constant state of PTSD in a way, because of the shock of always being confronted with something that might take you out. So, one aspect. The other one, for me, for many of us, in my adult life, never had a stable home, because never had a home of my own, because always the financial issues and always having to move around. And then later, um, during my marriage, my husband was really sick. I'm hesitating talking about this, but I don't know. I mean, it seems like everybody hesitates talking about their relationships. So there must be something that we're not supposed to do, but I don't know. I'll keep it light. Um, but during that time, there was a lot of uncertainty, moved like 15 times in 9 years. He was sick with cancer, stage 4 cancer. Things were always, coming down, and financial issues. And we're divorced, so there was a lot of clashing, which is something else that doesn't make you feel safe, right? So, all those reasons, it's like this morning that I connected that anxiety is connecting to a feeling of safety. And personally, and I imagine many, many of you, if you think about it, have you forgotten how to feel safe? And this morning, that's what I realized, and it brought tears to my eyes, because during that meditation, it was like, wow, I have forgotten how to feel safe. I can make myself be in the moment once in a while when I'm in nature. That's when it happens for me. And just feeling the moment, and it's a kind of safety. But the real kind of trusting the unfolding of my life, trusting the process, this is something that I have forgotten. And yes, I have a long history of the things that I said, but it ramped up for the last 15 years with all the different things. And after that, my divorce and blah, blah, blah. Stories. The stories don't matter, they just are the explanation for the pattern. But this thing of realizing that, and I do not know, yes, I do modalities and tapping and meditation and all this to reclaim and rediscover and unearth this buried feeling of safety. Because, yes, there are people right now in the world who are not physically safe. They're simply not safe. But personally, right now, as I'm making this video, as you're listening, we are safe. In this moment, we're safe. I'm in a house right now. I have a few weeks here. After that, I have to find a new home, and that brings uncertainty and all these feelings of not feeling safe because I don't have a stable home. But right now, I am safe. I'm in nature. I'm spending time close to my mother. Like all these things are, I am okay right now. And yet, inside my body, I cannot connect with the feeling of I'm okay. So, the reason that I wanted to come to you was this realization of I have forgotten how to feel safe. And I know, we all know, when we've done the inner work and we continue to do the work, we know that feeling safe is like at the base of it all, right? You have to trust life, trust the universe, trust God, trust the process of your life, trust the unfolding of your journey, trust your soul, trust your higher self. You have to trust in order to be present. I think that makes sense. Um, Hang on, where was I going with that? Uh, Not sure. I'll just go where it leads. So, what I wanted to bring up is, yes, there are all these modalities, but ultimately, what I'm realizing is that I don't know how to figure out how to make myself feel safe unless external circumstances come. It feels like I don't know how to figure it out for myself. And this is what I wanted to bring to you today. Because this morning, 20 minutes ago, in my meditation that I was following with someone, it was that my prayer, my, I'll say a prayer to God, but it doesn't have to be God, God, the God. Uh, God to me is a presence. It's source. It's in me. It's outside of me. It's what people connect with when they have a near-death experience. It's my higher self. It's my soul. It's whatever you want it to be. But for the purpose of putting a word to what I want to say, I'm going to say God. And what I ended up doing, and that I want to keep repeating to myself, is to pray, to ask God to show me how to feel safe again, because I have forgotten, and I have I've lost myself. I can't find the neural pathway anymore that will lead me to the place where I feel safe. So what I want to offer, perhaps if it helps me, I imagine perhaps it can help you, is to make it a prayer, make it a mantra, make it a request, make it an invitation to life, an invitation to your higher self, an invitation to God, to be guided, to your guides, to your guardian angels, whatever you want to call them, to ask explicitly to show you how to feel safe, because I have forgotten. And I think part of the humility of acknowledging that I have forgotten and I don't know my way back, it leads to this place of surrender. When we admit these things that we don't know how, with our human mind and our persona and whoever we are today in this 3D world, when we admit that we don't know how to do it ourselves, talking about that self that is mostly our physical existence, we are opening up our hearts, opening up our circuitry to the flow of life. And Michael Singer, in his book, The Surrender Experiment, and I think in other ways that he always talks about how we surrendered to life, to the flow of life, to the guidance of where something was being offered. And he'd say yes, and he'd follow this, and he would not resist. So when I think when we admit that we don't know how to figure it out, and we have forgotten how, it puts us in a state of surrender. And surrender is a state of receptivity. And so, however we formulate, to whomever or whatever we choose to ask for that, it's not really the recipient of the request that is important, is that we are opening up to allowing, whether it comes from us, whether it comes from the outside, but to allowing something that exists that is more than what we seem to have access to right now, something greater than us, something more subtle than us in our physical form, with our mind and our thinking and our emotions and all these things. So this is what I wanted to come and offer you today, to open, to humbly understand that anxiety truly is a sense, comes from not feeling safe. If we felt safe, we wouldn't be anxious, right? I mean, I can think of all the things that make me feel anxious. If I felt safe, all these things would not create anxiety in me. So I imagine that if that resonates with you, like, let me know in the comments. But one, understand that instead of trying to address our anxiety, let's move to addressing our sense of not feeling safe. And we can do all the things to help us feel safe, and remind ourselves that in this moment I am safe. But there are things that, if it's anchored in your body, in our bodies, when our bodies hold this sense of fight or flight and not feeling safe, words and thoughts, not sure if it can really reach there. So anyway, beyond all the things that we can do in terms of modalities to reclaim that sense of safety, having this humility and this surrender of saying, please show me the way to feeling safe again, because I lost that way. I've lost the thread, I've lost the path, and I can't find my way back. So I need help. So this is what I wanted to come and offer you today, totally off the cuff. I hope that it spoke to you, and that it helps you in some ways, you who feel the anxiety of life. So I love you. Please don't forget to subscribe. It really helps. And I'll put links in the description below in ways that you can support this channel, subscribing, liking, supporting me at Buy Me a Coffee. And of course, if you're enjoying my talks, get my book. It's an unusual memoir written as a journal with reflections that follow and thought of the day for every day. It's a memoir that was written in real time, instead of in retrospect and trying to find the lessons in life. Anyway, check it out. I hope you enjoy. Again, I love you. I'll see you soon.